Chapter 3 Decimals, and the definition of decimal is the numbers expressed in decimal form are called decimals. So a decimal has two parts, and these two parts are separated by a dot, and this dot is known as decimal points. And the part to the left side, the part on the left side of the decimal point is called whole number part. So here 29 is the left side to the decimal point, so 29 is whole number part, and that part that is on the right side of the decimal is called decimal part. So the digits which are written to the right side of the decimal point are known as decimal parts. Now next point is decimal places. So the numbers of the digits contained in decimal part of a decimal gives the number of decimal places. Again, we will read this definition. The number of the digit contained in decimal part. Here decimal part is this part. So we can conclude from this that the number of digits after the decimal point, number of digits after the decimal point is my decimal places. So here in this example 29.78, there are two digits after the decimal point. So here in this example number of decimal places are 2. Similarly, if I write 30.573, so there are 3 decimal parts, that means the number of digit after the decimal point are 3. So here decimal places 3. Suppose if I write 72.0124, so here in this case there are 4 decimal parts, that means number of digits after the decimal point are 4. So here decimal places are 4. Suppose if I write 7.30, so here in this case decimal places are, there are 2 digits after the decimal point, so decimal place is equals to 2. Suppose if I write 7.300, so here in this case there are 3 digits after the decimal point, hence decimal places are 3. Now next point is like decimals. So decimals having the same number of decimal places are called like decimals. For example, if two pairs of number is given 7.57 and 8.67, so in this example you can see that there are 2 digits after decimal in both the cases. It is 7.57, so after decimal there are 2 digits, and it is 8.67, so after decimal there are again 2 digits. So decimals having same number of decimal places are called like decimal. In both the cases decimal places are 2, so 7.57 and 8.67 are like decimals with 2 decimal places. So we can write they are like decimals. Next example is, let's say one number is 17.852, and second number is let's say 16.35 and 1. So in this case again you can see that after decimal there are 3 digits, so decimal places are 3, and it is 16.351. so again in this case there are 3 digits after the decimal, so again there are 3 decimal places. So in both the cases decimal places are same, the number of digits after the decimal point are same, hence this is also a pair of like decimal. Next point is unlike decimal. Decimals having different number of decimal places are called unlike decimals. For example, suppose I write 2.73 and second number is let's say 14.217. so in this case you can see that there are 2 decimal places, and here there are 3 decimal places. So the digits after the decimal points are 2, here the digits after the decimal point are 3. So the decimal places are not same, hence this is called unlike decimal because decimal places are different. So this pair of number is unlike decimal. Next example is, let's say number is 28.5 and 1, and second number is given, it is 9.1. so in this case again you can see that there are two decimal places and there is only one decimal places. So number of decimal places are different in both the examples. So this is also a unlike decimal. Now we'll come to a property of decimal, that putting any number of zeros to the extreme right of the decimal part of a decimal does not change its value. That means if a number is given, it is 8.9, and if you add one zero to the right side, extreme right of the given number, that means if you add one zero after 9 like this, then the value of the decimal will remain unchanged. That means both are equal, means 8.9 is equals to 8.90. Similarly, if you add one more zero to the 9 to the 0 to the given number, it will become 8.900. so again 8.9 is also equals to 8.900. hence you can add a number of times any number of zeros to the extreme right of the decimal part of the decimal, that its value will remain unchanged. So you can write 8.9000 and so on. We will use this property to make our decimals like decimals. Here you can see that it is 28.51, so there are only two decimal places. Here it is 9.1, so there is only one decimal place. So to convert this pair of decimals into like decimal, we have to make this decimal with the two decimal places. So for this we can add one zero to the number, hence this number will become 9.10 and this number will become 28.51. now you can compare that there are two decimal places, there are again two decimal places, so hence it will become like decimal.